Exactly 60 years ago today, the Nigerian Stock Exchange which was then known as the Nigerian Stock Exchange, now is known NGX, started trading with 19 securities. Over the past 6 decades, the NSE, now NGX Group, has made tremendous progress in the financial ecosystem and the wider economy. Take a look at some of what you're seeing on your screen as the footprints of the stock exchange over the past 60-year period. From its creation from a department within the central bank, then it started trading on the 25th of August, 1961, precisely 60 years today. And it started mobilizing debt capital for the then Nigeria's new administration. What goes on next was that the stock exchange between the 1970s and the 80s began to make changes to its name, which became Nigerian Stock Exchange, then have a whole raft of bond listings. Between the 80s and the 90s, we saw the creation of the All-Share Index and a platform for the federal government's TCPC, which was the privatization and commercialization program then under late Dr. Zaya. You had the creation of SMEs Windows, which saw the likes of Julie PLC become a listed company. Then you move into the 2000 period, which is between 1990 and 2000, and that was a decade of automated system, clearing, settlement, depository, market deepening, more listings to the exchange. The globalization drive, the first wave of that was to drive roadshows, platform with BPE privatizations, banks and insurance consolidation, market boom, and all of that, and the market bust, of course, in 2008. Then you look at the last 10 years, significant second wave of what you call transformation of the NGX, now being demutualized, remote trading, product expansion, derivatives, going public, the whole leadership transformation that we now see as a new exchange. So let's talk about the last 60 years and get a deeper insight into these as we bring on David Adonri, who is a licensed trader at HighCap Securities. A good evening to you, sir, and thanks for coming through. Congratulations to all of you being members of the Nigerian Exchange.
Thank you very much. I'm so happy to be here. Please kindly permit me to seize this momentous occasion to join other stakeholders of the Nigerian capital market community to congratulate NGX, formerly the Nigerian Stock Exchange, for this wonderful milestone.
Yeah, wonderful milestone, David. What we know now as the Nigerian Exchange Group started off as the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Give me a short historical perspective of this very special institution.
Yes, the Nigerian Exchange Group, as we know it today, used to be the Nigerian Stock Exchange. But even before then, it started as Lagos Stock Exchange in 1960. That was the name under which it was incorporated, registered, and then by an act of parliament, it came into being. And then it was actually incorporated by members as a result of their guarantee. It was not a company that was actually limited by shares, but limited by the guarantee of the members in 1960. But it started operations in 1961 just with 19 securities. And out of those 19 securities, only 3 were equities. The remaining were bonds. So essentially, the NGX then was a platform for raising bonds, especially for the public sector. But ever since, the market has expanded, so much so that in 1976, as a result of the white paper which was issued from the report of the Dr. Pius Okigbo Commission, the then Nigerian Stock Exchange was converted. The then Lagos Stock Exchange was converted to the Nigerian Stock Exchange.
Yes.
And so it opened branches all over the country. So that stock exchange also continued to operate from various parts of the country, although with the headquarters in Lagos from 1976. And of course, we know that recently it was demutualized.
So over the 1970s to the 1990s, tell me about how the exchange contributed to the robust financial market system that we have today.
Yes, the Nigerian Stock Exchange, now the NGX, please kindly pardon me because I'm an old, I belong to the old school, so I'm still here to master the new appellation. Which
it's a new horizon, yes. We're getting used to it.
Yes, which is NGX.
Yes.
Now, since inception in 1960, the NGX has been able to meet the objectives for which it was founded. And generally, there are two main objectives that stock exchanges serve. First, to serve as platform for the raising of long-term capital. And then secondly, to serve as a very profitable, liquid, and safe outlet for investment. So the Nigerian exchange has actually served these purposes. And we can actually still drill down for you to understand how well the Nigerian exchange has contributed to the development of this economy.
To be able to do this, we saw this decade of the 90s to 2000 of massive, the first wave of transformation. Tell me quickly about it, the CSCS and the rest.
Yes, those were the glorious years for the Nigerian capital market. When the Nigerian stock exchange then became automated and started the fintech revolution that Nigerian enterprises have keyed into now, was actually pioneered to a great deal by the Nigerian exchange then in 1997, when it became an automated market as a result of the coming on board of the automated trading system. And also in the same year, 1997, the ecosystem of the Nigerian Stock Exchange developed the clearing, settlement and delivery system known as the CSCS.
Let's talk a little bit more about this first wave, then the second wave when we come back after the break. Stand by, everyone. You're looking at the 60 years of NGX Group. So this is Arise Exchange. Let's continue the conversation. This is the diamond anniversary of the Nigerian Exchange Group, formerly known as the Nigerian Stock Exchange. We're tracking some of the footprints of the NGX over the past 50-year period with David Adonri of High Cap Securities. David, thank you very much. Just as we were going into that particular break, we're talking about those key transformations. I call it the first wave of automation at the exchange with the ATS, with the CSCS. How did it really impact on those of you who were stockbrokers who were basically doing manual trading? Then suddenly you have, from a call-over session, you now have an ATS in which you have to go to the floor, you got to log onto a computer, you need to book orders into your system, you need to get a whole lot of automation, digitally speaking, technologically speaking, to drive the exchange and the market.
Yes, the technological advancement of the Nigerian exchange, ushered by it becoming automated trading ecosystem, and also with automated clearing, settlement and delivery, were actually wonderful milestones in the transformation of the capital market in Nigeria. Because before then, through the call-over system, volumes of transactions were actually very scanty and meaningless. The capital market was essentially not profitable to the market operators who had to operate on a very thin line. But with the automation of the Nigerian stock exchange
and the CSD.
And the CSD.
Yes.
Transactions actually exploded. They became very, very voluminous, both at the secondary and at the primary markets. Yes.
And those were the years, David, just before, and all this, the first wave of this technological transformation to automation started just before the bank consolidation and insurance sector consolidation in 2004.
Yes. So that automation actually served as a firm foundation for the efficient activities relating to the banking consolidation and other activities that the Nigerian Stock Exchange helped to foster then. And so that automation was really very wonderful as a game changer. And that essentially was what transformed the local exchange into becoming an internationally acclaimed exchange, to the point that now the Nigerian Stock Exchange, or now the NGX, is one of the most technically advanced exchanges in the whole world, with a wonderful settlement and delivery period.
Interesting, the second wave, let's just talk about, after the leadership change in 2010, we saw a new team that are focused on a wonderful new horizon than we've ever seen before. That's the Oscar Onyemas. So the whole globalization of the exchange, the whole market product deepening and what have you, was what we saw in the last 10 years.
Yes,
now we're talking about demutualization, demutualized exchange.
Yes, the Nigerian exchange has actually followed a pattern of incremental growth from inception in 1960, and there have been various phases of its growth, and the impetus for the technical takeoff started before 2000 through the automation of the market. But with the change of Batten in 2010,
yes,
the vigor for complete modernization and taking the exchange to a world-class status in terms of delivery and processes became heightened, and especially with the entry of the leadership of the exchange led by Oscar Onyema, the product base became widened. And so that was when the exchange moved beyond just the equities and the bonds products into including exchange-traded funds. You remember that was when the gold, the Absa gold came in as ETF.
Exactly,
yes.
exactly. And then you now have, even you brokerage firms now have your own indexes on the exchange.
Yes.
In line with the exchange itself. Quite a whole lot of transformation that we've seen over the last 60 years. I think we're just going to celebrate the NGX and those of you who are members of the exchange this week. Thank you so much, David Adonri, for coming this evening. David Adonri of the High Cap Securities. Great to have you tonight on the show, and we wish you all the best. And of course, the Nigerian Exchange Group mark it is important 60-year milestone.